sorry, the urge to do that it got the best of me, you guys. Hi, Leo. Welcome back to Eternal Serenity Tarot. This is going to be your reading for the month of August. Okay, so this is an interesting one. It's a breath of fresh air in comparison to the Cancer reading I just filmed that's uploading right now. That one was a doozy. It took me like 3 times to film that because I just couldn't get into that energy. It was hard, but let's see what I got going on. So we're starting with gratitude is dreaming, the manifesting power of gratitude, and the law of praise. And what is holy, what is true, appreciation, witnessing the unmerited gift of grace. Now, this card is interesting because when I was pulling, this card came out and it came out in reverse. And I was like, and I put it back. And then I went to shuffle more and it jumped right back out, but it came out upright because there's a girl take that card. So I feel like the energy for this month feels really good for you guys, probably because we're in your season. I feel like y'all are really shining, like Beyonce said. It already feels like somebody just came and cleansed my spirit after that last reading. So I feel like you guys this month, I think you guys have started seeing your manifestations actually show up around you. And you could be feeling very gracious right now, or you could have been shifting more into trying to be grateful for what you already had, and it brought your manifestations to you a lot closer, a lot quicker. That's what I wanted to say. It brought them in a lot quicker. Maybe your manifestations were closer to you than you thought they were. And this shift in energy was all that you needed to really seal the deal for everything to really attract itself to you like a magnet. It's funny because both of these cards are about appreciation and gratitude. Maybe you were coming out of like a low energy and stepping into your season, your birthday coming up. Happy birthday, Leo. Or if your birthday didn't come up yet. Hold on, guys, 1 second. Okay. If your birthday hasn't happened yet, maybe you're going to get something for your birthday, or you're going to hear from someone, because we have this Hierophant energy here, and I'm wondering how this all ties in together. The Hierophant can be someone. If it's not a person, then it's a structure. But if it's a person, then it is someone who's very by the books. Like they have a very specific code of conduct that they abide by. And sometimes it can be unyielding, it can be rigid, and it can lack nuance. There's not enough wiggle room or making room for life to prove things to you that you've never seen before. So sometimes this can be a person who something is happening right in front of their face, but they're just so no, but that's not what I know, so that can't be it, or that can't be true, or there's a lack of understanding that multiple things can be true at once. So sometimes this Hierophant energy can be a box. And this could be a person that feels like they're having trouble placing you, or they had trouble placing you before they started understanding that people are multifaceted. You could have been their understanding of that, Leo. This could be, if this is a person, this is somebody very buttoned up and composed. They don't show you a lot. They're really good at not reacting and not showing other people how they're feeling internally. That could have been something that they were shown, like a never let them see you sweat mindset. The 7 of Swords in reverse. I don't know if somebody is confessing something or somebody is caught out there. They're getting caught up doing something. Because this could be a boss. This could be your boss specifically. Or you could be this boss, Leo. This could be you. Place it where it fits. But this could also be someone who, because you're so used to them being so composed and buttoned up, that whatever this confession is, it's going to be like an unraveling for them. So let's see. All right, Six of Cups. Maybe this is somebody you've known for a long time. With this Six of Cups, this could be somebody you've known from childhood. You have positive, like fond memories with this person. Two of Swords in reverse. This person, if this isn't you, this person could be stepping away, like stepping out of this box, or stepping, like I'm getting like stepping out of character for themselves. Like you make them want to get out of character, but in a good way, because this is a person who I think is recognizing that this Hierophant energy can sometimes keep them stuck because there isn't a lot of allowance. You know, it's a very tight, small box. Not very many things fit into this box. For this person, they're probably starting to understand that maybe they don't even fully feel like they fit in this box. You know, the thing about this structure is that it has its place. It's helpful. I'm sure this person is successful in some way, um, because the Hierophant provides boundaries. It can also be tradition. So maybe this person likes to do things in a more traditional way, or that's what they're used to. Maybe that's how they grew up. But there's something about this connection that makes them want to switch it up and want to start doing something they've never done before. I think I'm also getting too, for some of these people, they want to do something differently than what they've seen. I think they were thinking, like, they were under the impression that they couldn't have more than what they've seen people around them have. So there's like a specific path that everybody follows in their family. It could be a career path. It could be the way they choose their partners. It could be all of the above. Um, but this feels like someone. It's a system, and this is a person who would have struggled with finding their identity in this system, because there's like a shared identity amongst these people. It's like forced commonality, you know, where they don't necessarily have things in common, but this becomes the commonality. Like everybody has this specific degree, or everybody's involved in the medical field somehow, you know, or everybody it's like a family business. There's some sort of legacy attached to this. So somebody could have been trying to, you know, go along to get along, thinking that this was in their best interest because it would have been taught to them that way. Sometimes this hierophant can be indoctrination, and you know, being sold that this is the way, and that if you don't follow this way up, well, then you're on your own, and your life will fall apart, and who knows what will become of you. So there's a lot of fear mongering that can take place in order to keep some of these structures in place. So the Seven of Swords being here implies that there was some sort of withholding or like sneaking. Um, this is like when the Seven of Swords comes out like this, that means that we're looking at someone who's wearing a mask. Like they're presenting one way, but what's going on behind the mask is something completely different. What they have going on internally is completely different from however they're making it look to the outside world. So maybe they were looking at you and having an attachment to you. And again, Leo, this could be you guys. You could have been this Hierophant person, but someone could have been looking at you as like, I don't want to say forbidden fruit, but it's like kind of where you just represented an alternative lifestyle. And this person would have been taught that that alternative lifestyle is how you end up on the street. You know what I mean? Like this comes from someplace. So this system would have been teaching this person the whole time, like, if you don't go along with us, well then this person could have even had like support. Um, like somebody could have been threatening to pull support from this person if they went down a different path than the one that everybody was going to. So inheritance could be tied into this somehow. Um, where for this person it was like, well, if I just go along with this, then I pretty much got it made, because I'll just fall in line and everything in my life will just fall into place. It's like it's being put on a platter for this person. It's set up and it's like, okay, you just enter and you sit here and you play this role, you sit in that seat and you don't have to think about anything because it's just all done for you, and you just show up and you play your part. um But I think they're starting to I don't think they're stepping away from maybe their structure completely, but they're trying to figure out for themselves what their own belief systems look like. So, what's important to them? What are their values? I'm also getting that they're trying to figure out what it is that they would want to pass down as a part of their own legacy. It's like, how do they contribute to this legacy instead of just showing up and having it passed down to them? Does that make sense? Okay, I feel like we talk a lot about that here. um, Two of Swords in reverse can be somebody that's coming to a conclusion, but that's because they've allowed what's being presented to them to change their mind. So instead of covering their eyes and putting their hands to their ears, they're taking their hands down, taking the blindfold off, and saying, okay, maybe there's something to this. Maybe I actually should sit down and evaluate this. Maybe I should give this a chance. Maybe this is not going to have me in ruin like I thought it would. I don't know if somebody told this person you were trouble, or if this is you guys, somebody told you guys that somebody was trouble, but yeah, this is an interesting one. And then we've got this Ace of Wands. So that's a very like intense, like high intensity, passionate excitement. This is drive. This can be ambition. But this is the kind of energy that's needed to be able to push something forward. Let's actually start. Yep. Rejuvenation. So this is a return of something. This could be a return of feelings or a return of a spark, or this feels like a return of motivation. So whether this is you, whether this is someone else, somebody here was involved, I feel like, with another person. And things might have fizzled out somewhere along the way if this person was more focused on playing their role in whatever this system was. Your relationship with them could have gotten tossed by the wayside. So naturally, whatever energy it was that existed between the two of you, so any sort of chemistry, nothing ever happened with it. And this is like disconnecting and shutting your feelings off so that you can go and I don't know why. This energy feels stuffy. Like, and like it's indiscernible. So something about it feels very gray. Like you bring color and excitement to this person's life. I feel like, Leo, I feel like you guys are stepping more into yourselves, because when I was doing the shuffle for your reading, that Mona Leo song, Suck It Up, was coming through. And if you've never heard that song, go listen to it. She's really talking her shit on that song. Um, so you could just be like knowing your worth and being very comfortable with letting everybody else know that you know what you're worth. You know, there's no more like, oh, I don't want to be, arrogant. I don't want to be cocky. It's like, no, I have a healthy level of confidence, and it's okay for me to display that. I don't have to put my head down and stare at the ground and be meek, like I can be me. This is a very fiery energy. It's very like in your face. So you guys are really popping out. Um, it's a very magnetic energy, and I think you're pulling this person in. And I don't even think you're focused on it because I think you're also in this Ace of Wands, but it's more focused towards yourself. Like you're getting this zest for life back because you're like, wait a minute, I'm really them, you know. So there's like a remembrance of who you are and being comfortable embodying that for all that it is. Like, which is good because y'all are ruled by the sun. You know, it's all about illumination, and I think you've illuminated a lot for this person by just being yourself. It's kind of giving me star card energy, you know, like giving aqua a little bit. Could be something a little bit weird and funky about you, but you're like, you know what, that's cool because that's who I am. So you're either gonna take it or leave it. But I think this person was allowing this system to dictate who they are. It feels like something about their life. It's like you could put anybody in their place and it wouldn't make a difference. And I feel like that there's something about that that scares this person. Like it's like they have a number, but they're not more than that number. Like they're realizing that it so I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain this to you guys. It's like this person is just employee number 29. You know, they're not so and so with these personality traits and these qualities, these interests, um, and this like they're quirks. You know, this system doesn't leave room for them to be quirky. It's like shunned. It's just like this system is like you will show up and you will be normal. You will be regular. And it feels like there's nothing regular about you, Leo. There look at that. King of Pentacles in reverse with this Nine of Cups in reverse. So somebody really thought their fulfillment was in making money. Again, their structure is teaching them that. So they really thought their purpose was in providing. Even if this isn't provided for other people, like this is being able to provide stability for themselves. Whatever job this person works, I don't feel like this feels like a creative person, and I don't feel like there's anything creative about this job. This feels like you know those point and click games. Like whatever job they show up to, it feels monotonous, you know, and tedious. Like you show up, the day is pretty much the same. It's very predictable. That's what the problem is. This person bought into a life of predictability and they don't like it. They're like, can we get some spontaneity around here? But spontaneity is a threat to this system because these people view that as like, ooh, you can't catch it. You just don't know how it's going to go. And it's like, I mean, yeah, but there's a fear of what people don't know. So this structure, they're kind of unforgiving. There's not very many people that are really accepted. And I think this person is starting to realize that who they actually are outside of just putting on the uniform, putting on the name tag and the number and going to this place is not accepted. And if this is a family, then this is like, you know, I show up and we keep things very superficial and surface level. You know, it's very like, hi, son, how are you? You know, it's sterile. That's what it is. It's sterile. This is a house. Y'all ever seen where Kim Kardashian lives? Her house scares me. Everything is white. I don't know if she's done some redecorating since then, but everything is white. And it just has this very like sanitized look to it. You know, when stuff is too proper and too like neat and too tight that you're scared to even touch it because you're like, oh my god, like I'm gonna mess something up or I'm gonna put something out of place, I'm gonna break something. Like it doesn't feel comfortable. So this person doesn't feel comfortable in their own life because there's this tiny box, this tiny little box that they have to stay in. And it's like if they step a toe out of line, that's it. That is it. But there's something about the way it's been framed to this person that there is the outside world and then there is the structure. And it's like you don't want to be like those people out there. Look at so and so and look at so and so's child. They didn't have any structure and look how they turned out. You don't want to turn out like that. So again, it's just a lot of fear. But I think this person thought they were going to get a lot more out of living like this than they did. I think because they felt like more money, I'm hearing more money, more problems, but I think they were thinking more money, more access to things. It's like more fun that I could be having, but I don't feel like this person is really having very much fun. And it could have to do with the people around them. These people are not fun. They're not fun like you, Leo. And that's how this ties back. There is a huge, like stark contrast between you and this system, this network of people that they're involved with. And they feel like locked into it. So there could be a resurgence of it. What did I say, Leo? Queen of Swords are reversed on the bottom of the deck. So you guys could. I'm trying to think. You probably don't have an Aqua placement because you're Leos. But as we know, Leo and Aqua are sister signs. So even though there's a lot of differences and they're in opposition with each other, there are similarities between Leo and Aqua. And there are also things that both of them can learn from each other because of their differences. So I think that that's speaking to you and this person. Maybe they have Aqua placements. Um, but as an Aqua myself, like sometimes that's all you need is somebody with a little Leo energy to come and just pull you into the spotlight a little bit, or just encourage you again by just being so unbothered and so like unashamed of being seen. The star is a card about being comfortable with being seen for all that you are. I mean, she's naked. It just doesn't get any more raw and vulnerable than that. But she also looks comfortable. She's not looking around to see who can see her, who's watching her. Oh my God, I hope people are not perceiving me. Oh my God, I hope they're not thinking this about me. Oh my God, I hope they're not judging me. She is not concerned. She could not care any less about anything other than what it is that she's doing right now, which is being the water bearer. She's like filtering this water. So this is, again, stepping into your purpose. And not allowing people to tell you that like this is not your purpose or that this is not what you should be doing or you're not good enough. The star is being like, I'm good enough because I am. Like because I'm me, because of what I bring to the table being me, and that's more than enough. There is something very attractive because the star is also magnetic, because people feel comfortable with the star. They see this person being all that they are. And, she's naked. She's not worried about any sort of scarring. She's not worried about how her body looks. She's not worried about trying to play into any standards of any kind other than her own. She's looking at herself as being more than enough. She's not like, oh my God, I don't have this, and so I can't be naked. She's like, girl, look at it. Right? So I feel like you guys just being the bright, shining sun that you are, you've shined a light right in this person's direction. And they were really loving how that warmth was feeling. Like, think about how good the sun feels, even on a really hot day. That sun, sometimes it's a little bit too much. Sometimes that thing burns. And if you guys separated, maybe you did burn them a little bit before because it was just too much, because they weren't ready to step out of this, because this was a comfort zone and it provided safety, because it was the clear path where they were like, I can see 5 years to the future, I can see 10 years to the future, I can see 30 years to the future with this, because it's pretty much it. Like, it doesn't go that far. And I think this person is realizing they want more out of life, and they see you going out, taking life by the horns, and demanding more from life, being like, there's a lot that life has to offer, and I'm going to see as much of it as possible. Some of you guys could be healing from imposter syndrome. That could be something that you've kicked recently, and it's like lighting a fire up under that ass. Like, and so this is you and your motivation and your drive, because you're like, mm-mm. I was in the corner long enough. I was down. That's not even who I'm supposed to be. I am a Leo. I am supposed to go be seen. This is like, I am lion. Hear me roar. Okay. Some of you guys could have recently gotten your hair done. You're doing something different with your look, or I don't know. You're just embodying an energy that is so unbothered. Like, people could be looking at her, but she don't know. She don't know who's looking at her. And this is peace, and this is also being comfortable with solitude. Like, she's comfortable with being solitary if it means that she would have to sacrifice or compromise any part of herself in order to be acceptable to other people, in order to be palatable to other people. So if she has to sanitize herself, she's not interested. And the only reason I'm saying she is because there's a woman on this card, but I do want to switch to they them. If this person has to sanitize themselves, and it's probably is you, Leo, it's like, I'm not coming. For some of y'all are like, if I get invited someplace and it's too strict of a dress code, I'm not coming. Some of y'all are like, don't invite me to no white parties because I'm gonna show up in pink. Like, this star energy, because it's aqua, can just be very rebellious and very like, you don't tell me what to do because I set my own standards. You don't set my standards for me. But there's something about this energy that is so empowered, Leo. I love this. This feels so good for me right now, just to tap into this energy. Like, and I feel like this feels good to this person because there's some sort of acceptance. It's like, before they were feeling kind of burned because this was a little bit too much, and it was shining a light on their own insecurities and their fear of being caught out there. Their fear of being seen, their fear of taking the mask off and really showing themselves. So even if this person isn't coming and confessing something to you, which I think they are, I think there's something that they're having to confess to themselves first. They're having to stop hiding from themselves. They're, taking that mask off and looking in the mirror. And this is understanding, like, am I really happy here? Like, do I really feel good? Do I really feel fulfilled? Is this worth it? Or should I separate myself, forge my own path, go my own way, and just deal with things as they come? It feels very like fool card. So this person is teetering. I don't know if they're in the full upright or they're in the full reverse, but I think they're still, I think they want to take a leap of faith in this direction. I think you might be their first stop on tailoring their life to look more fitting for what's actually right for them, and understanding that, like, just because this doesn't look right for your life doesn't mean that it's not right for mine. And alternatively, just because this is right for you in your life doesn't mean it's good for mine. For some of these people, this system that they were brought up in, is a lot of settling that goes along. That goes on amongst these people, and a lot of going along to get along, a lot of staying quiet so that you don't upset the apple cart. So what's the Six of Cups? You know what's funny? This card has come out in nearly everybody's readings except Cancer. Only Cancer didn't get this card, this Four of Swords in reverse. So I feel like this person has been taking time to themselves, or this is you, Leo, taking time to yourself, to get your mind right. Four of Swords is a very protective energy. You know, you're safeguarding yourself. You're closed off from the outside world. Um, this is taking a minute to breathe because life can be so fast paced and so go, go, go that sometimes you just need to pull yourself back and take a step from everything that you don't absolutely have to show up to. So this is time off. This could be a time in between jobs. You could be on vacation, but I really feel like this has more to do with this person that's separating themselves from this structure because I feel like in whatever time they took to themselves, there was a lot of thinking going on. You know, this hermit, this Four of Swords always reminds me of the hermit. But the Four of Swords is the act of going, like retreating into solitude. And the hermit is the act of actually accepting that solitude for what it is and surrendering so that you can connect with yourself and connect with whatever higher source, your higher self, spirit, um, so that you can hear everything you haven't been able to hear from being just on the move and on the go. The Three of Cups and the Ten of Wands is the Ten of Wands is under it in reverse. So yeah, this could have been a really fun month for you guys so far. We're in mid-August. I've been trying to get these readings out, and Mercury retrograde is not playing with me. So I'm having to surrender to the fact that I can't, just blow through these readings like I would like to. Um, but yeah, this could be you guys celebrating your birthday. This person could want to celebrate a birthday with you guys that you have coming up. This Ten of Wands in reverse, they could want to let their hair down. Um, Ace of Cups in reverse. So that could be a missed opportunity sometimes where there was a lot of feelings, a lot of deep feelings, and that Ace of Cups can be overwhelming sometimes if you don't know what to do with it. And for a person like this, I don't think that Ace of Cups fell into their plan. Like this seems like a person with plans. But these don't feel like their own plans. These are plans made for them. So this Ace of Cups comes around and it's like, whoa. But it also looks different because remember, we mentioned settling. So if we're talking about what this person is used to marriage looking at, the people around them are not married to people that they're genuinely in love with and passionate about. And there's no chemistry between these people. It's cold and distant and detached. And even if these people sleep in the same bed every night, you're just like, wow, I don't even know how these people met each other and decided to be together. Like, based off of what? And I definitely don't know why they're still together. So there could be a lot of that around this person. Um, Excuse me, Leo. um, yeah, so I'm just seeing this person. Oh, look at that. Look at this Ace of Cups in reverse and the Chariot in reverse. It's like this person had pumped brakes real quick. Like these feelings, this emotion got to be too much. And this person was like, okay, now wait a minute. I see that the car is loaded up, but I do not have the map. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going with this. I don't know where this is going. I don't know where this leads to. You want me to just kind of, again, take that leap of faith. You want me to jump off the cliff and just pursue this and go with the flow. And there's nothing about this energy that gives go with the flow. It's quite the opposite. This person thinks that they're supposed to create a flow, but it's not really a flow. It's like this tightly structured plan, and it's everything's been analyzed, and there's data, but it's outdated. So it's old because it's not even their data. This is like life is upon this person and trying to show them this is your life. This is what life is teaching you. And they're so hell bent on trying to take lessons that other people have learned and have tried to impart, what they've taken from those lessons, like their interpretation of those lessons and projecting it onto this person and being like, here, this is your plan to follow. This is your rule book. This is your guidebook. This is how life will go for you. And I'm seeing this person having been accepting of it until they met you. And then it wasn't even the meeting you, actually, it was the meeting you, going through this whole thing, separating from you, having time away from everybody and everything, and understanding just how much they miss the fact that you bring out their inner child. Like there's a fun playfulness, there's an innocence attached to this connection. Maybe they feel more innocent when they're around you. This person's idea of themselves could be not the greatest, which is why there's this fear of vulnerability, because they're afraid of putting their differences out there, or putting their scars out there, putting themselves out there and not being received well. Let's see what else. There's that three. Okay. They both came out. Okay, this could have been. What is this? What is this Three of Cups? Before I say this could have been a person, could have been a lifestyle. What is this? King of Swords in reverse. Somebody was up in that head and they needed to get in that heart. That's what happened. Look at this Four of Wands. I feel like this is something this person was involved in that you don't know about. Were you guys married to this person? Were they married to someone else? Is that what this was? Because there's something about this situation that was burdensome, and holding on to this as a secret was burdensome. Because King of Swords in reverse can be somebody who's they're planning too much and they're thinking too much and they're being overly strategic. But it's always for the sake of trying to protect themselves. Because again, there's that uncertainty. So this person is like, well, if I plan and if I maneuver and if I puppeteer and I set this up here and I do this, then everything goes right and it goes my way and I get to feel good about that. But I don't know. There's something about them really not feeling good about that. Two of Pentacles in reverse. So something got to be too much to uphold. I feel like this person was living like a double life or something. So maybe they were in a relationship or they were married, but it was to a person that fits this life, fits into this structure. This could have even been a person that was like picked out for some of these people. And I'm not, if it's not just picked out, then it's like, this is a person that was, how do I want to say this? That this person was like put in proximity to them so that they would choose them, which really just sounds arranged. There's no better way to say this. I feel like there was something about this having an arrangement aspect to it. And if it wasn't so like strict like that, then there was just, I don't know, like this person was pushed on this person. And again, of course, this person had free will. They did not have to go with that. I'm not making excuses for this person. I'm just reading the energy, how it comes out. Don't shoot the messenger. Sometimes this Two of Pentacles in reverse, this person was juggling something, but what? When it comes out in reverse, sometimes this is like something got to be too much to try and juggle. Like I'm hearing like cats out of the bag, somebody slipped up, something caught up to somebody. And this person thought they were smart. They thought that they accounted for everything, but they didn't account for the fact that no one can account for everything. There is nobody other than God. Okay. that can maneuver and create and set things up in the way that this person was trying to do. Like this person was trying to have complete and total control over a situation when there are too many factors involved that this person couldn't control. Hmm. Well, yo, this is interesting. Okay. Let me shuffle this. Ooh, five of wands in reverse. Not in reverse. It's not in reverse. It's upright on the bottom of the deck, and then I cut the deck and we had the hermit in reverse. So either somebody has come out of a period of hermitude or somebody was avoiding even going there in the first place. I feel like whatever this person was involved in, shit really started hitting the fan with that five of wands. But sometimes that five of wands is like it's a competitive energy where everybody's like secretly in competition with each other or like secretly sizing each other up and trying to outdo the other person. That could be something you're involved in, Leo. Let's see. I want to know how you guys are feeling about this King of Swords. Because we saw the Queen of Swords in reverse, so that was interesting. And then I was thinking that that was your energy, Leo. So there's overthinking happening. The King of Swords is also detached. You know why? Because he's not feeling his way through, and they are not letting their intuition guide them properly because they're too busy being focused on logic. But when it comes out in reverse like this, it's like what this person believes to be logical really actually isn't. And a lot of it probably is more fear based than anything else. There's like a heavy like fear of loss going on for this person. I don't know what they've got to lose. Maybe this is like a fear of losing their integrity or their dignity. But they were definitely trying to save face. I feel like because that's the energy they showed up in, that you returned that energy with them, even though I do think you ended up cutting them out. I think there was, because you could tell that there was so much thinking going on, and maybe there was like manipulation, or you had to be on guard with this person because you didn't trust their intentions. So they're guarded, and now you're guarded because you're like, okay, well, wait a minute. Okay, so how does Leo feel about this person currently? How is Leo currently feeling about this person? Too many cards. Too many cards. All right, first out, we had that moon in reverse. Okay, so the moon in reverse is definitely a revelation. Like we're seeing stuff for what it actually is. Well, I mentioned in this reading that somebody was taking the blindfold off and taking their hands off their ears so they could actually be receptive. And that's what this moon card in reverse can be. And if it's not, then this is like something you were suspecting and now you're getting proof. Like your intuition told you about this or you had dreams about this and now it's actually going to be confirmed to you. So how is Leo feeling about this person? I mean, Leo, you could just be feeling like this person is sneaky. You know, they've got a lot to hide, and you could just really not trust them. You could feel like, why would I want to deal with a person and I just never really know what I'm gonna find out about you next? Like you could feel like there's too much uncertainty with this person because there's a lot of like hiding and sneaking and withholding, and it's like if I could see if they come towards you being like, okay, so why should I trust your intentions? Like, why now? All right, we've got the Eight of Pentacles. So somebody that is very focused on something that they have a lot of investment in. When we see the Eight of Pentacles, the card that comes before the Eight of Pentacles is the Seven of Pentacles, and that is harvesting. right? So you're planting the seeds, and then you're watering them, and you're giving them the nutrients that they need, and you're gonna see what they actually bloom into. When we get to the Eight of Pentacles, to me, this is still that hard work, but it becomes easier because when the Eight of Pentacles comes out, I feel like we're getting into the groove of something. So you've been doing something long enough that it's easy for you to just show up and do it. Like it becomes second nature now. But this is a very committed and dedicated energy for sure. So before we move further, I'm going to clarify this Eight of Pentacles. Too many cards. I don't know if this person, like, they've been so withdrawn and so like tight-lipped that I feel like this person is about to bust. Like, instead of just telling you about this, they start telling you just about everything. Like, they just, again, unravel. Like, they start and they just can't stop. There's like a confessional energy here. Like, this person is coming to you and confessing their sins in some way. You guys might want to watch the collective reading that I did. Maybe not. I know we talked about evolution in that reading. I'm not saying that this person is not evolving, but I don't get that energy as strongly as I did in that collective reading. Yeah, what is this justice card? I wonder if this person is doing well right now and there's something they want to share with you. Or there's something they want you to be a part of. They feel like you should be a part of their lives. Maybe you've helped this person a lot. Maybe you were very generous with them during a time where they needed it and they want to return the favor. They feel like that's only fair. Or there's like a, you were such a impactful person in this person's life. So now they're like, it's only right that the person who, even if you haven't been connected to this person, or when I say connected, you've been connected to this person, but even though you haven't been in contact with this person, um, they're wanting to acknowledge just how impactful, like, you being in this star energy has been. Like, just being yourself, just being you. Because it's so encouraging, I feel like you encourage people to be themselves. You ask people, like, why not? Why not? Why care about what people think? Or somebody's like, oh, but people are going to say, and you're just like, okay, so. Or since they're wanting to break away from this life, they're wanting to get in contact with you because they're looking for some encouragement from you. They know that you would be like, yes, break away from this. I don't know. I feel like there's support that they're either looking for or they're wanting to give back. So that's interesting. What is this Chariot in reverse? Eight of Cups. So there's something that this person is avoiding walking away from. And it has to do with where they've invested their time recently. It's probably a job. Again, this just feels like a whole life that really is not for this person. Like, they're living somebody else's life. This is somebody else's dream. Um Interestingly enough, this came through in Taurus's reading a little bit. With the Chariot in reverse, that can be like this person has what they need to be able to move forward, but they just need to turn the car on. Like they're needing to let their intuition be their guide, and they're not comfortable doing that because they've not been in that energy thus far. This person likes to control and manipulate so that there isn't any sort of uncertainty. Again, they're just like, I know exactly how this is going to go because I planned it to go that way and I did everything. I set everything up in a way so that it would, to ensure that it would go that way. But they couldn't do that here. I think once you felt like you had to be on guard, you were like, you know what, whatever, and just went back to minding your business. Like I'm just getting such an unbothered energy from you guys. Hmm. They're needing to leave whatever this is behind, despite how much time and energy or money or whatever it is they feel like they have tied into this. They are meant to separate themselves from this. That is justice. Even if they come in your direction and you send them packing, regardless of how things work out with you, it is still justice for this person to do that. Now, I do think you're involved in this somehow. Otherwise, it would not be so prevalent in your reading. Your energy is kind of being like drowned out by this, but I feel like that's because you guys are really chilling. Like whatever it is that you have going for you right now, it's working out. Things are going well, and you didn't have to manipulate and strategize and place all the pieces here. You just went with the flow. You created your own flow, like but actual flow, not this like knot. This person is in a knot right now. They are wrapped up in something. I feel like this person's in a maze. And they're like chasing their tail. But it's like they're in this maze, but the maze is glass, and so they can see you. It's like they can see you next to them. You were in the maze and they watched you. Maybe it took a little bit of time, but they watched you like break yourself out of the maze, and now they're still in the maze. Like, how did they do that though? Like, you're making this look so easy, and this person is like, how though? Like, teach me. Which the Hierophant can also be a mentor. So I don't know if this person is looking for you to mentor them because I don't know who this person is to you, but they could also, even if they're not coming to you, they could also just be using your energy right now as mentorship. Like they're like, what would Leo do? Or they know you well enough, you've been around this person enough for them to be able to guess the kind of advice you would give them. They're like, Leo would probably say that I should do this. So I guess I should probably just do that because that's what they would encourage me to do anyway. Like this person knows what they need to do, but there's just still fear surrounding it because they don't know where this chariot goes. Like Spirit's like, okay, here, we're giving you the map. Go to this undisclosed location. And they're like, what? Like, okay, but what's going to happen when I get there? And they're like, Spirit's like, listen, just you worry about that when you get there. This person is like, no. Because I just see this person not wanting to be involved in anything they don't have control over. And you are not controllable. You are a very like untamed, wild, very free spirited energy that you're coming through. And this person likes that. They do like that. But there's something very scary about that because they can't control you. And so they don't have a say in what you do. And they have a say in how they handle it, though. So I think this person is having to learn boundaries, and you can't control other people. Like, you can't control other people, but you can set boundaries. So I think this person is having to understand that. But I just think there's so much fear in a person like you because they feel like you're a wild card. You could just kind of do anything. And they kind of just have to go with it. I feel like it's kind of coming through. I feel like there's a slight misunderstanding of your energy a little bit because I don't feel like your energy is trying to step on anybody's toes, even if people's toes feel stepped on. So I don't feel like you're just this out of control person that's just doing whatever they want, and you just don't give a damn about nobody else's feelings, and you just in other people's space, just just out there and being like overbearing and overwhelming, and nobody can tell you anything, and you just do whatever. It doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like that at all. But I think this person has a fear of it being that. I don't know if maybe that's what they're used to, or like they've met other people who claim to be free spirited, but free spirited to them meant that they had no boundaries, and just blatant disregard for other people's boundaries. But there is definitely some misconstruing your energy going on here. And maybe that is a past energy, that misconstruing, and part of what they've come to understand in this time away, um, is that was all fear in their head with this moon card in reverse. Like, things weren't as bad as they were making them seem. I also feel like that moon card in reverse, though, is this person revealing something to you where you're like, I don't know why you just didn't say that. I don't know why you just didn't tell me that. I don't know why you just couldn't be upfront and transparent about that. But there's definitely something about this person trying to have their cake and eat it too. Okay. So this justice card, it's like they have to answer for this. They got to pay the piper now. They have to own up to this. And they don't have to, but if they want any kind of anything with you, even a chance, they have to own up to this in order to be able to move forward. They have to release this, releasing that burden. They have to let this go. They have to put this out there, because it's either hold on to it and then you find out later. I don't even think this is like a finding out later, because I don't think that they can really be let back into your world without some sort of truth. Ooh, excuse me, without some sort of answers. Like, I feel like they left you wanting answers, even though you might be like, I don't want answers because I don't care what this person is doing. Because I feel like that's the energy you stepped into, but I don't think you approached it like that initially. I do think that there was some curiosity and some wondering, like, what does this person have going on over there? Because they're hiding something, or they're sneaking. There's something going on in this person's life that I can't see and I don't have access to. Okay. Let's get a few more oracle cards for you guys, and then we're gonna close out this reading. So, Leo, for you guys personally, you're just continuing in that bright, shiny energy. Okay, hold on really quickly before we go into these oracle cards. We got the Nine of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and under it is the Six of Wands. So, something that you dealt with for a long time, you've really had to push through. The only way out is through. You're finally coming out of it with that Six of Wands. We are triumphant this month. And again, maybe this is that stepping into yourself. Maybe you struggle with your own insecurities. This could be body image issues. Or maybe a fear of stepping on people's toes. Maybe you didn't want to be your full self because you were like, I don't want to make people uncomfortable. But you realized how uncomfortable that was making you. And you realized that you were, in some regard, living someone else's life, living like this. So you might be able to understand where this person's coming from. I just think there's a, why did we have to do all of that? Just to get here. Why did we have to do all of that hiding? Why couldn't you just be upfront and say that? You might get an apology from this person. This Page of Cups that I'm seeing. I don't know. I feel like this person was just moving so shady. Like, we have this Ten of Swords, and it's like, I feel like you were just like, why do you act like this? Until you just completely pulled back. I kind of feel like you guys were mirroring each other before with the whole, like, holding yourselves back in some way. You were withholding who you really are from the world. But I don't think it was affecting, or maybe you don't feel like it was affecting your relationship with this person as deeply as whatever they were hiding. But there was a mirroring to that energy. And it's like now you're in a different energy, so now they're trying to match that energy. And I think it has a lot to do with literal energy, like you being connected to this person, and like whether you're trying to or not, you are connected to this person, and I feel like you're kind of pulling them forward a little bit. And I think they're recognizing like, wow, so and so just keeps, propelling themselves. Like they just keep getting better and better. They're getting stronger and stronger. They're just becoming more of themselves. And so now you're inspiring this person. And they're like, well, you know, I guess it's time for me to start doing the same. I think they just had to get to a point of being like fed up with whatever this was. Because that's really what this Eight of Cups is. He's tired. He's fed up. He's like, I give up, man. Whatever. Y'all can have all of this. And so he goes in the other direction. Now, the only thing I will say about the Eight of Cups is you have to be careful because sometimes we leave these situations, but these situations are still attached to us. So there's baggage that we take from this environment into the next one. So I would say that that's something to be mindful of with this person if you do choose to engage with them again. But I think you are, since you're experiencing this rejuvenation because of the power that you stepped into, it's like they're going to experience that same feeling once they actually choose to stop sitting in the back seat. They're not even passenger seat in their life. They're in the back seat. They're in the middle. They are in the middle back seat like a child, Like this is like somebody put them there and they're like, okay. And they haven't moved. And now they have to take themselves out of that because you've taken yourself out of that. You're very inspirational, Leo. You're very empowering too. Like you make something look easy and you make it look good. And you make it look appealing. Maybe some of you guys should go into advertising. I'm not even kidding because you just have a way, like you have a natural finesse. And so you just have a way of taking something. Like things just look better when you do them or when you own them. I don't know why that is, but people feel like that about you. Oh my God. This has such Regina George energy attached to it, but like without the whole being bitchy part. Like the part where they're interviewing people at the school and somebody's like, oh yeah, I saw Regina George wearing army pants and flip flops. So I went and I got army pants and flip flops. Like people want to do what you do because you look good. It's giving Rihanna. You know how Rihanna could just take anything and she puts it on and you're like, yes. Didn't like it on the model, but I love it on her. Like there's something that you're showing off or something that you do, but you do it and people are like, wow. Whatever this was, I didn't care about it that much before, but so and so's doing it and I just can't, like, I can't look away. People can't take their eyes off you right now, Leo. Which I love because that's what Leo energy is supposed to be. I feel like you guys are healing because the Star card is also a card of healing. And it restores hope, because you heal in this way where you're like, I get to believe in myself now because I've pulled myself out of this dark space. So now I've shown myself just how powerful I am. Like I just keep saying the word power because it's energy. Like I'm in love with you guys right now, okay? If people aren't telling you this person is not telling you this. I think this person is in love with you. We don't have any super like loving cards either, but I think that just has more to do with this person's withholding. They don't want me to give you all the tea, Leo, okay? They got to leave some stuff for them to divulge to you because that's what it's going to be, divulging. So we have Epiphany Sing at Dawn, aha moment, awakening, new directions, potential. So you've caused an awakening for this person, and I think it. Not I think it. I know it has a lot to do with the new direction that you've taken in your life. The number seven could be very significant for you guys. Um, I think you're unlocking your own potential, and you wouldn't have been able to see that before because you were looking in the mirror and seeing yourself through someone else's eyes, but it's also like just seeing yourself only as what people have claimed that you are. So you could have been somebody who cared a little bit too much about what people thought. And you were like, you know what? Like, that's really not who I am. So now, because you have an understanding of who you are, your life only goes up from here because you will no longer be lowering yourself to be in environments with people like this person is. Like people that want to keep you stuck because they actually can see the truth of you, whether whether you know it or not, because they don't want you to know, because they want you to stay stuck. And they don't want you to actually get the full, colorful, beautiful, detailed picture of yourself. Like it's giving mosaic. You guys are a piece of art. I'm telling you, people are admiring you guys right now. Like there's something just so elevated about this energy that you guys have stepped into. And it just means that people around you are forced to elevate or get left because there is no lowering yourself anymore. This is like you was hanging out in the slums before. And now you move and you're like, bye y'all. Bye y'all. You want to get with me, you gotta level up. Sorry. You're definitely making this person want to be better. But I think they had to watch you do it and see how good it looks on you and see how well you're doing in order for them to be like, Like they had to see you stepping up in this way and see you thriving and shining to be like, I don't know if my camera caught that properly because I was getting a message for me to charge my phone. Metamorphosis. Okay. We got listening to the ancestors in reverse. Integrated wisdom versus knowledge. Inherited patterns and traditions. It was in reverse. I feel like this person wasn't connecting with their ancestors. And their ancestors could have been trying to use you to connect to them. Like you were direct line of contact. You know what this is giving? This is giving Cuff It by Beyonce, where she's like, bet you'll meet God. Like you were the way for this person to get closer with God because of your connection with God and the divine path that you're following and the fact that you're connecting with your guides. I think you've already gone through your hermitude stage and we're now coming out of that. So you've already heard the call. You've already connected. You've already tapped in. You listened. You took the notes. You applied them. And this is the result. And now it's time for this person to do that. Like they got to pick up the phone. They got to answer the call. On the bottom of the deck, we have a call to transformation, metamorphosis, the in-between. So there's a transition that needs to happen for this person. I think you're coming out of your transitional phase and you're already starting to see the ball rolling more than it was before. But that's because your energy is so progressive that it's like you're sending that out and everything else around you has no choice but to follow suit. So it's time for this person to go through a metamorphosis. The number 8 could be significant. Oh, would you look at that? Under it was another chance to be. Yeah, so this is someone reclamation, second chances, rebirth, emotional healing. So it feels like death card energy where something has to die. And the funny part of the death card is that there's like a pleading that happens where the what do you call it? Damn, what are the people called that declare somebody dead? Oh, I hate it because I know this word and it's not coming to me right now. Okay. Anyway, that person They call, it's like the Grim Reaper is coming in on that card to declare this person dead and reclaim that soul, because the soul was lost in that body and the choices have led to this person's death. They've fallen from grace. This is the end, and the only way to be able to start anew is to really let go. So, in order for that soul to start anew, they have to let go of that body, that old body. So, in a more literal sense, this person is having to let go of this uniform that they're in, this suit that doesn't even fit. It feels like itchy, it's too small, or it's way too big. um, it's just, it's not right. It doesn't belong. They don't belong there. And so I think you guys are going to be stepping into creating a space where you belong. If you feel like you can't go in spaces and belong, this is like you're creating your space, and people that belong are just going to come join you, because they're going to be attracted to you, because real recognizes real. Okay, let's get a couple more for you guys. We keep saying this card, Jesus. Serenity out of exile, exhale, surrender, radical acceptance. Yeah, you've already done that. I love that this card is a number one too, because the number one is the magician in tarot. And the magician is that natural alchemy, because there's an understanding of what you naturally possess, the qualities that you already possess, your natural talents and gifts and abilities, the way that finesse that we were talking about, where you show up and you're already prepared because you showed up with you. So therefore that's more than enough, because the magician has enough to be able to adapt, and just you learn more as you go on. You don't have to come in knowing everything. You know enough to get started, and from there you will learn more and more. So this person might struggle with that because they want to have all the answers. And so I think you also could relate to having been a person who wanted to have all the answers, but at some point you realize, like, listen, this shit is out of my hands. Okay, control is an illusion, and I'm just gonna have to let go. I'm gonna have to put my hands up and say, okay, spirit, like, you tell me. But you went to spirit and said, you tell me, and spirit said, actually, you will tell you. Just give it time, give it a moment, be quiet and really listen, feel your way through this, and then you'll know how to proceed forward. So this person is going to have to learn how to feel. I mean, there's just no way around it. We have holding space for love, non-judgment, discernment, and self-acceptance. You might be surprised how capable you are, or I don't want to say capable. You might be surprised how much more willing you are to hold space for this person should they approach you, depending on how they approach you. Because you feel empathetic. Actually, no, this is more sympathy. You feel sympathetic because you're like, you know what, I get it. And who am I to judge you, really? Like, I don't have to like the way you approached. I don't have to like the way you went about this, but there's something about this person that you see, I think, in yourself. That's at least what it feels like. So we've got non-judgment and discernment on this holding space for love card. The discernment feels like understanding when something really was, like, when you were a part of someone's journey. So sometimes you do get off on the wrong foot with people, and that's just because that's who they are. But sometimes you really do meet people during a very specific time in their life before they've woken up. And so there's a lot of behaviors and traits that go along with being asleep. And we all know what that's like, because we all were asleep at some point. Okay. um let's see. All right, we have the true source of power, and it was in reverse. So this is Divine will, integrity, power versus force. Okay, this is this person's energy for sure. Because we mentioned that before when I said that this person was trying not to, they didn't want to be seen as lacking integrity, but there was something very much lacking integrity about the way that they were moving. It wasn't dignified. But they've been taught, okay, so this person is really learning. This feels like somebody's process of growing up and really being out in the world and getting their own taste and feel for the world for the first time and having to go with that and trust themselves versus, again, trying to take what has been taught to them and just stick that label on everything and everywhere and stick everything in this box and try and I'm just getting them trying to put labels on you. Like they were like, I can't place this person. And so instead of accepting that, they were like, well, that must be really dangerous. Because that's what they were taught. So they're having to learn what power versus force looks like. They're moving more forcefully and you're stepping into your power and standing in it. And that power is like, I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. I'm just over here existing and being me. And if you want to come over here and do that with me, then you're going to do it this way or not at all. Which is powerful because it's boundaried. We are boundaried right now. Versus force, where it's like, okay, you can come around me, but you have to bend to my will and you have to do it like this and do what I say and be this way so that I can be comfortable like this person was doing. So they were getting in the way of what the divine had set out for them by being in this energy. All the time in the world, having enough time management. So that's interesting. Leo, have you guys been rushing? Now that you're a lot more confident and ready to step out there, you could just be ready, like, go, go, go. Like you're on fire right now. And Spirit's like, down, girl. Calm down a little bit, calm down, horsey, okay? Let's tame this just a little bit. But you're ready to be young and wild and free. Even if you're not young, you're still ready to be young and wild and free. Because if you're older, maybe this is some like a way of being that you haven't been since you were young. And it feels really good to just be yourself. This is like there's no rush to do anything because nothing is going anywhere, and what's meant for you, Leo, is just it's gonna happen and it's gonna come to you. You're not gonna miss it. It's not gonna pass you by. It will come in the time that it needs to come. So I wouldn't focus on trying to stockpile yourself right now with responsibilities or anything that you're working on right now. I wouldn't be. I'm hearing starving artist. I'm hearing emphasis on the star thing. No, but it's like there's no need to be like, oh my God, I don't even have time in my day to eat because I have to do this. Spirit is like, no, eat, take care of yourself, rest, okay, breathe, go get some air because none of any of your blessings are going anywhere. And they're also not just going to slip out of your hand. Like, this is the kind of stuff that you really can't mess up. They've prepared you in a way that you're not going to mess this up. They didn't want you to mess this up. So that's why we needed you to step into this energy and be confident and be powerful. The river dances to the sea. I love this card. This is the number 3. I've been getting chased around by 333, so that might be significant for somebody. You might want to go look that number up. But 333 is a really good number to me because it always shows up when my team wants to let me know, like, hey, we're here with you. You are not alone. We're still guiding you. We're still right here with you. We're still working with you, even through this part of the process where you feel like, okay, we've leveled up. And, the training wheels can come off now. They're not holding onto the bike anymore, but they're still standing right behind you, ready to catch you should you fall. We have grace within chaos on the bottom of the deck. Look at this card. I am obsessed with this deck. Accepting life's complexities and the seduction of distraction. Interesting. So, Leo, grace within the chaos feels like in this next season of your life, you're learning how to be solid for yourself. You're learning how to be a pillar of strength in your life. You're learning how to be steady, unmovable, untouchable, unfuckwitable. Okay, heavy on that part. But you're learning how to not be disrupted. So it can be all kind of chaos and nonsense and dysfunction going on around you, and you're going to be good. You're going to be straight, and it's not going to be able to penetrate your energetic bubble. Like whatever is going on out there, it doesn't have anything to do with you. um Shining by Beyonce, specifically the part where she's like, when you see me smile, don't be mad at it. That, ooh, we just messing up this word, y'all. Okay. um as I was recording that, my dog thought it was a good idea to be in my business and knock my light cord out right in the middle of me recording. And of course, that just aggravated the shit out of me. But I took a couple breaths and now we're right back where we are. So, that right there, that little disruption that we just had after I said that you guys had to learn how to recenter and ground yourself. You got to be able to be steady. So you could be in all kind of choppy, murky waters, but that boat, this is not the Titanic. Let's just say that. I was going, before I was rudely interrupted, I was gonna get into this 9 of Wands, 6 of Wands again, because I was saying that when Beyonce said, "When you see me smile, you can't be mad at it." That is so real. That's especially true for you guys. Like, y'all were really struggling through something. I mean, again, crawling hands and knees, scraped up, bruised up, banged up. This is like ego bruising. You probably, okay, this feels like post ego death. So you've really been in the trenches, okay? Um, y'all ever seen those memes where it's a dog and they're just soaked? They look so pitiful. Like, I'm getting that that's where y'all were at, but that's not where you're at now. Not at all, not in the slightest. It was another lyric from Shining that I was gonna say. When she said we smile through all 4 seasons. So when we say this next season of your life, we're not just saying like, oh, we're enjoying this energy for a period of time and then we no. This is moving forward. This is the next season and the one after that and the one after that. This feels like, we were talking about the magician in this reading. This feels like the next thing to put in your bag of tricks. Like, this is your secret weapon in your arsenal. Another nod to Beyonce, but if you know, you know. This is the next. Oh, that's actually funny because I wonder if this person is gonna feel like you're the weapon in their arsenal. That should be from Plastic on the Sofa. Plastic off the sofa? Plastic on the sofa. Plastic on the sofa. By Beyonce on the Renaissance album. Go listen to that. But yeah, it's like your secret weapon is going to be the strength, which funnily enough, the strength card in tarot, even though it's not out here, is Leo. That's self-control. That is understanding that you don't need to let people and things get you outside of yourself. Even when there's a shakeup and there's a whole bunch of chaos, you can still remain true to yourself. But you have to know like how to ground yourself so that you don't get taken for a ride by everything else that's happening. I wanted to get one more card for you guys. love this card. Happy, healthy, wealthy wise. I just saw 343 on my timer, so that might be relevant for somebody. Mentorship, fulfillment, and what else is this? Peace of mind and self care. Yes, yes, Leo. This is exactly what we're talking about. Like, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise. We did mention mentorship with this here font card. We talked about fulfillment already. I mean, you guys are very at peace. I have to say, I'm not done with the rest of the zodiac, but so far this is my favorite reading. This energy is so good. Like, I want to bathe in it, Leo. I want to come hang out with you. I want to go get a drink with you. I want to just talk about like such nonsense, just life. I want to talk about life with you because you just feel like you have the right idea about some things. So I definitely think you guys are going to be mentoring people because I think you're going to be imparting this wisdom. There's a lot that you've learned, which is funny because this card talks about integrated wisdom versus knowledge. Um, yeah, so there's information that you have, there are keys that you have that this person doesn't have because they're not listening. You know, their ancestors are trying to guide them, they're trying to connect with them, and this person is like, they're like, la 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 la. But not you, Leo. This feels like you have navigated your way through that dark space. And this feels like a liminal space too. So this is being in a dark space, and if you don't find your way out of here, you're stuck. And there is no like flashlight, and if there is, it's one of those ones that's really dim, and then it like cuts off, and then it'll cut back on. Like that's the only flashlight that you had. So you could feel like you've managed to get yourself to this point with minimal support. Because I was getting for some of you guys, like learning how to be this steady for yourself comes from it being like nobody else in your life is embodying this energy for you. So there's a need now. And instead of seeking outside of yourself, which you could have been doing before, for someone to fill that need, this is learning how to do it yourself. This is stepping up to the plate. There's actually a card in here called, yep, Rise to the Occasion. Of course, I take this card off the top of the deck. And what do we have here? It's a reverse, but again, I think that's that person's energy. This other person, I don't think that's you at all. I know it's not you. Capability, strength, authenticity, and free will. Like, come on now. Y'all have already risen to the occasion. That's why we're out of this liminal space. This feels like Hangman. You know, like when we clear out the distractions and all the noise and everything that we want to bury ourselves in so that we can escape. And this is like, this other person could be very avoidant, and I just don't get that energy from you guys. It doesn't mean that you weren't before, but you've realized that this avoidance really wasn't benefiting you because there were things that needed to be moved out of the way if you wanted to be able to progress. And these feel like heavy weights that you guys picked up and just chucked them out the way. All right, Leo, that is all I have for you guys this month. This energy was beautiful. I'm so excited for you guys, and I can't wait to see what we have to say next month. If you guys like this, please subscribe, like, turn my post notifications on so you know next time I post. Bye!